All right, welcome back to the Silent Void. We are about to get started on a video. The worst, yeah, New Jersey. That one. Oh my god, I can't stop. All right.
If you drive past a dealership lot right now, it'll be completely full. Even their overflow lot is going to be completely full. They are filled with
I was looking at a Bronco before. I was really looking at this version of the Bronco. That's not my price range.
overpriced
And the others
inventory that they
pretty much
simply
are not
can't
good.
sell. Even with a little discount from the manufacturer, a little rebate, and a little dealer discount, it's not enough. People are saying, I need more discount.
Now, if you ever look at one of those MSRP window sticker things, it's crazy. They have like a dealer markup, and what's the highest one I've seen? It was like, yeah, dealer markup of, $10,000. Why? I can clearly see the MSRP here. You're going to put a dealer markup plus taxes, title, all that stuff. And we put a random clear coat on these cars that you didn't even want, really. Actually, you didn't really even need it because it's brand new. I'm not paying for that. You can forget that. Yeah, you can haggle with them quite a bit. Up to a certain point, of course. Like 45 for the car, and the file is like 72. Crazy. I want to get a Bronco. I like the larger Broncos. I just don't have 50K or so to drop on them.
I need 20, 30,000 off some of these pickups because they're so dang expensive. And we all know dealerships showed their true colors over the last few years with all the market adjustments and stupid charges. That's the biggest problem. Also, manufacturers raising the
Yeah. Protection package. Okay, so no, no. No, what is this? Why? You're just adding $890. I'm surprised I don't see a markup price right here. It's just the suggested price, the stupid whatever protection thing, and then your total price here.
price on top.
This is like a tiny window sticker, though.
The dealership adding all the BS. So you got to think about it. The dealership screws you over so bad, and I don't think people understand how bad they do. Most of the stuff that dealership adds provides no value at all. Nitrogen-filled tires, all this stuff that's just a complete BS
Nitrogen-filled. Oh, yes, nitrogen-filled tires. Okay, does it help the tread not run out so fast? Does it help me drive smoother? What does it do? What difference does it make? Oh, yeah, so fancy. No.
The worst part about it is
it's all fluff.
Is people think they got a good deal.
Base price, $51.50. And they have the optional equipment, of course. So this like base model. So you gotta look it down. Oh, down here, 57. They added 6,000 of stuff. Optional equipment.
Go through the finance department.
Why do you keep going up? I guess they added stuff after. I don't know.
They say the dealership treated me so nicely. Yeah, it's because they made 10 grand off of you. Try to go through the finance box without buying any products. They turn real quick from a nice person. To not so nice, especially if you're a cash deal, not financing, not buying any product. Generally, it could be pretty quick, but it's definitely not a happy process. The finance guy is not happy to see me, but you have to understand when you finance to a dealership, you fill out that credit app. Most of the time, they're raising the rate on you, so they get you approved.
Do we need to have another conversation about the credit stuff? Yep. Again, if you need a car, I'm trying to clear out that number right there, but it's too blurry. It looks like 42,000 maybe. I don't know. I can't read it. Yeah, if you will need to finance a car, yep, there it is. Get pre-approved through your bank or credit union first. Get pre-approved through them. Because guess what? They pull your credit one time. Do not get an 84 month at 18%. No! Oh gosh, no. No, I'll be very disappointed in that. Very, very disappointed. Yeah, so go through your credit union or bank to get pre-approved, and then go to the dealership and then buy the car that way. Because if you go finance the dealership, number one, the process takes so much longer because what they do is you fill out your application, and then they're going to send it to like major banks and other credit unions in the area. And then they're all going to pull your credit, but it's fine. You know, that they pulled the credit the same day, it's fine. Okay, yes. But a few months down the road, you're going to have multiple inquiries on your credit report, which is going to make your score go down. Because too many inquiries is not very good. It's not positive on your credit report. So there's that. And then you have to be careful about the interest rate that they give you, first and foremost. Gotta make sure they don't put all the extra crap on there. Do your research. Do your research beforehand. Look at the value of the car. Ask if you're going through a credit union or bank. Hey, I'm looking at this specific car. If you're looking at a specific car on the lot, give them the VIN number, the mileage, and they can look up the value for you and say, hey, this car's worth, you know, let's say the car's worth 35. Well, they're asking 42. Well, you're going to have to put some money down if you really want the truck. Sorry, we're not financing the full amount. So, yeah, do your research on the value of the car. You don't want to overpay for a car. Also, you don't want to go super high interest, whatever. So if you have bad credit, you can always try a co-signer if you want to with better credit. Maybe it's better off of their score. I don't know. But don't get ripped off. Don't get ripped off. They always try to sound happy and like all like, oh, I am servicing you. You know, I'm bowing before you. No, they're not. They're liars. More than likely. I've had a couple of nice ones, but more than likely, I had someone trying to rip me off, and I said, no. I just pull out my phone. I'm like, okay, first of all, you're asking this much for the car. The car's only worth this much. You want to give me, you know, you really want me to finance through you? I am not. I'm already pre-approved. I'm not going to do that. He did not like me. He didn't like me. I had a calculator and everything. I had a spreadsheet to calculate exactly what my payment would be at a certain term and interest rate. So I knew. And the guy was even impressed. He's like, what is that? I'm like, it's a spreadsheet. So I know if I get this car with this out the door price, if I finance for 4 years at this percent, my payment's going to be this. Am I comfortable with that? Nerd, I did this for my job. I used to do this for work. Yeah. And he didn't like me because I made him go back several times. But I got a good deal and I got like almost $2,000 knocked off of that thing. So it works. You gotta hassle. You gotta hassle them sometimes. Hassle and haggle. But yeah, just be careful. Just be careful. Yeah. They're not going to expect you to do research. Yeah. I also had to do that for one of my people that I was helping finance because they gave me like a bill of sale and I looked at the car. I'm like, this can't be the same car. And I'm like, man, this sucks. I said, you're going to call your dealer, right? Call the dealership and say, no, you're not going to take it for this price. The most I'm going to do on this is that price. And then they came down. It was like about $2,000. They came down for her to get it to where it's valued at. Yeah. So I usually recommend like 5 years maximum because that's typically, you know, best way. But if you can do 4 years or less, much rather do that because more than likely your interest rate's going to be lower. And you won't be in so much debt. Yeah. And the worst case is if you finance for 48 months, then it's like, man, for some reason, like this payment's a little higher than I needed to. Well, if you finance through your credit union or bank, you can say, hey, can I refinance and extend my term? You can always do that if you need to. You don't want to stress your payments out, but you also don't want to pay so much, especially when the interest rates have gone up. I remember seeing one of our loans was like 2%. It was 2%, man. It was amazing. Now they're not. They've tripled, apparently, for the lowest rate. So, yeah. Here's my rant. Sorry.
At 8, but they're going to show you 10%, and they get a spread of the difference from the bank. It's an additional
I know about the limit loss
for the dealership. That's one of the most scummy ways to make money is to raise the rate on an interest rate that's already approved by the lender at a certain rate.
Well, the interest rate doesn't really matter for the lender unless they have something going on, or not the lender, for the dealer. So, but of course, the lender, they can charge you like, oh, at this place they'll charge you 6%, but we're going to charge you 10. But the thing is, here's another thing to be careful about. When they're showing you the paperwork, like let's say if you do finance through the dealership, let's say this. They're going to show you the paperwork. They're going to ask you what payment you're comfortable with, because if you answer that question, if you say, well, I'm comfortable around 400, maximum a month, they're going to make sure it's 400 by extending your term and making the interest rate higher. But they're not going to point that out. They're not going to point out, oh, well, To have $400 a month, you got to finance for 84 months at 12.9%, you know. I don't know. And they're not going to tell you that. They're going to say, "Oh, look, we got your payment down to $400." Like, "Oh, wow, you did that just for me?" No, they screwed you over at that point. Depends on the deal. It really depends on who you're working with. Some people really want to work with you. Others just really want that commission. So you just have to be careful. Just basically do your research. Know about loans, how they operate, how they work, etc. You can even see if your credit union bank offers like prepayment penalties or anything like that, or has prepayment penalties. So you can pay extra on your car as well. So that's what I pull out my suitcase full of cash. Yeah, don't get the price either. Just say, "I'm just looking around right now." Yep, just looking around, seeing what interests me. No, don't take out $100K for a student loan at 18. I don't know, actually. I don't have the student loans right now. But I have heard horror stories about those. So I don't know about student loans. I know about
crazy. And if you
consumer.
buy any warranty or any gap coverage, they're going to tell you maybe if you negotiate, "Oh, I'm giving it to you at..."
Found a couple. There's a couple more things. He said gap and warranty. All right. Again, this is what I used to do for work. Warranty. Any brand new car is going to come with a manufacturer's warranty. Typically, they're around bumper to bumper. Most common is up to 36,000 miles or 36 months. So 3 years, 36,000 miles with full bumper to bumper coverage. Anything after that is basically, what's it called? It's been a while since I've been in there. Oh my gosh, what is it called? It's something. So a lot less coverage, but you have that up to like 60 months, 60,000 miles. They're going to offer you an extended warranty. Typically, people keep their cars around 5 years. So however you want to trade, have your car, think about it. Probably not the best to buy an extended warranty at the time. Gap insurance. Powertrain is what I'm looking for. Thank you. Yeah. Powertrain warranty, thank you. That covers like your engine, transmission, like some big ticket items, but it's not going to cover everything like bumper to bumper or like fuses and stuff. So, no, shut up! I don't want you to talk to me about my car's extended warranty, okay? I was a lending officer, so I did loans for people. Now, gap insurance, let's say you traded your car. Now, don't keep trading your car because you're going to lose the value in your vehicle so freaking much because every time you trade it, you don't get full price for your car. Just be aware of that. So let's say you traded your car in and you're like, "Wow, I am 2,000 negative equity, which means my car's worth $12K. I owe 14 on it." Get the gap insurance on that. Get the gap insurance. I don't know how much it may cost. It could cost maybe up to $400 depending on the depending on the dealership that you're going through. You might be able to get the gap insurance through your credit union or bank. We offered it for very cheap because what happens is, let's say you drive off the lot. You owe your 2,000 negative equity in your car. You get in a car accident. Insurance totals your car. Okay, they total your car. They say your car's worth 12. You still owe 2K on that car. You had to come out of pocket the 2K. Whereas gap insurance usually covers, I think it was like 150% of the value of the vehicle. So it would cover that. It would cover the remaining balance. So, yeah. So I like gap insurance if you have negative equity. You gotta look at how fast your car depreciates too. So, but if you don't need it, like if you put money down on it, you don't need gap. You don't need gap. Yeah, or just don't crash. You can't trust other people.
On that.
Don't go underwater. You're allowed.
Or triple what it costs. And as vehicles continue to rise, people are financing their car longer and longer. We already know 84 months is all over the place. But when are they going to start doing 96 and all this stuff? It's going to happen eventually.
I wouldn't be surprised because all the car prices are going up and interest rates are going up. I wouldn't be shocked if I see 120 months at this point.
Eventually. And that's the craziest
10
thing
years.
to me. And they're going to keep financing longer and longer, and it's going to be more interest. It's a bad situation. But finally, dealerships are getting maxed out because rates are high, prices are high. People don't make $1 million a year on average for these $200,000 Ford F-250.
What? Excuse me.
50s. Like, for real. That's how...
Hey, look, I can see the VIN number. I can look at the value of the cars. I don't have the same stuff I had at work, unfortunately, but What's a Super Baja? America with Baja Blast, like unlimited Baja Blast. What is a Baja? I haven't heard of that one.
Crazy these prices are. So now the dealership's not able to add their warranties,
that is a pretty truck,
because
though. I'm not gonna lie.
Under their payment, their loan to value is only so much.
That's
they
why.
can add so much to it. So it
That's
is
why it's
definitely getting harder
pricey.
for dealerships to make as much profit as they were just a few years ago. Of course, they're not, but still, they ripped us off bad. And you got to realize what they add generally provides no value. And when they do provide what little bit of value they do, let's say they add a lift, wheels, and tires, which some people will say it does, some people will say it don't. But $20,000 in add-ons for that stuff. But if you do it yourself and you bring a Jeep with all the aftermarket parts, they're going to tell you it's worth less. But they do it and they want to...
There we go. Oh, look, there it is. 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. There's your bumper-to-bumper coverage on this specific vehicle.
Extra 20 or 30 grand, so it's pretty funny. So as we still continue to see 2023 still on the lot, and there's a lot of 2024s, and they continue to sit for 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 700 days on the lot.
Dang.
They're finally getting a taste of their own medicine because they took advantage, and now they're screwed. Now they're stuck with that inventory. Now there's going to be plenty of people
come
that
down.
continue to buy because
36
honestly,
base.
so
At the door, 55? Package. Wow, that's just insane.
In the United States. But as the dealership fills up, they can't accept allocations from the manufacturer, so the...
Look, I know Jeeps look cool and everything. They're not the best car. They're not the best car. If they have issues, they're very expensive. And they always have issues. Regardless of what Jeep you choose, they're going to have issues.
Manufacturer from Ford to General Motors has lots full near their factory waiting to go to the dealerships. And it's really unfortunate because in the United States, most states have laws that restrict you from buying directly from the manufacturer at all. I see a world where we could have both direct to the manufacturer sales and the dealerships. They could compete.
155. Oh my gosh.
And negotiate. Some people are just going to go ahead and pay MSRP and not deal with the dealership. They need to have both available. And some will say, well, what about service? Well, the manufacturer could have a service department. That's pretty easy. But again, I see a world where there's both direct to consumer and also the dealerships. Let it...
Here's the thing. If you finance $154,000, are you really going to finance it for 84 months or less? You're going to want to hire... That's freaking like a mortgage almost.
Be a free market. Why are we forced to go through a dealership? Why are we not allowed legally to buy a car from the manufacturer? So the whole process is just crazy, but finally dealerships are getting back to how they had all this inventory. It's sitting around. Their profits are down. They're finally getting a taste of their own medicine a little bit, but they need a lot more. For dealerships to really feel the pain, we just really got to stop buying this overpriced junk, and people are finally starting to realize as repo rates go up and people realize it's not the way. I don't need it.
I mean, shoot, can you get a mortgage on a truck and just live in that?
New vehicle right now as these prices
your home and vehicle.
Up. And as we know, they screwed us over
Mustangs!
for so long. They're just kind of saying, I'm done with it. I'm not going through a dealership anymore. I've never known.
I want the blue one.
Also, watch videos, learn to negotiate the right way, and really not let
those.
the dealership take advantage of
Go back.
by not buying additional products.
Turn around.
Don't be the finance
Keep turning around.
You don't want
go back the other way.
They're going to rip you 15 ways from Sunday. I'm real curious to know what
those
you
are DTs.
think. Do you think some of these dealerships are getting a taste of their own medicine, considering there are 2023s and 2024s at your local dealership right now? Pretty much across all of America, old new stock is the new term.
The weird Stang. The SUV Stang.
Because these prices are so high and discounts were not there, especially a few years ago.
Back to the Mustangs. I want to see
like
the
Chuck with this inventory.
So I can be
all
sad.
The dealership can do is keep raising discounts, but it's never going to be enough because it's such an overpriced vehicle, and we already know how greedy and how sleazy these dealerships. Don't let them take advantage of you. Let me know and stay blessed.
It's so expensive. Oh, so expensive. Raptor Bronco. Raptor Bronco. I'm fine. Why is everything so expensive? Because the rich people want more money. Yep. And also, they can't just make a basic car anymore with, like, most basic stuff. You have to have all the fancy stuff for your basic car, which costs more money.